It is week 3 in my 31 days of horror movie marathon. I wasn't planning on talking about any specific movies in this video. I just kind of wanted to talk about my general feelings that I've been having while marathoning all these horror movies. They give me lots of feelings. It's a month of horror movies is going to be really intense. I've addressed this somewhat, but a lot of you have asked if I still get scared at horror movies. And in our last hangout, actually, Bowers was talking about how he's not all that twitchy yet this month, and he's questioning, is that in the movie selection, or is it just because he's dead inside? I don't know the answer to that. He might just be dead inside. Normally, by this point in my watching, we're on day 22 now, I'm pretty twitchy and jumpy about things. This year is not quite as bad as past years. I think that has a lot to do with the selection of movies I've made. Last year was all ghost movies and haunted houses, so that's a lot of subtle psychological cues and hints. All stuff that in a normal day-to-day context we just kind of brush off or don't even notice, but when you've watched 20 ghost movies in a row, it all takes on a lot more sinister meaning. I hit my maximum freakout point after going to a double feature of Hellraiser movies at Cinefamily here in Los Angeles. So, okay, not surprising, Clive Barker and Hellraiser, that's going to freak you out. So this year I haven't watched any Hellraiser, so I'm not quite at that level yet. This last week, I've been having the weirdest dreams. Zombies, crazy people, blood, gore, a girl trapped in a haunted house with an evil spirit that won't let her escape. And that was before I watched the movie about a girl trapped in a haunted house with an evil spirit that wouldn't let her escape. So that happened. There's something there's something to this constant bombardment of imagery. Our brains take these ideas that we may not even be aware of how they're affecting us, and it brings them out. At this point then, I judge my reactions to horror in 2 ways. The first is how I feel after watching an individual movie. Immediately after, what are my gut reactions? Am I disturbed? Am I not? Do I care? Am I entertained? Am I laughing? Yesterday's movie, Lovely Molly, for example, immediately after watching it, I felt, it's a dark, sad, depressing movie, and I certainly felt depressed and sad by what had happened. I didn't really feel like it was transcendent in any way. It wasn't ultimately the scariest movie ever. I didn't really feel like they were even going for those cheap scares. Kudos to them on that, by the way. But the emotional effect of it was a lot heavier than a lot of the movies, and even arguably better movies that I've watched. Another way that I look at the movies that I'm watching is how I feel their effects later. The example for that one so far, this 31 days, has been The Signal. That one is responsible for the bulk of my bad dreams and anxiety at this point, which I wasn't expecting, and when I was watching it, I didn't even think it would be like that. And honestly, when I was writing about it on my website, I came across as a little harsher than I meant to, I think. Maybe I didn't still give it enough credit. Whatever that movie did to me, oh my gosh. I'm sitting here smiling about it, but seriously, I've been weird brain space for the last few days, and it sort of got triggered by that movie. How's that for effective concept and execution? I'm well done, Signal guys. Well done. We'll see how I'm doing at the end of this week. This is me after 3 weeks of horror movie watching. Mostly okay. The sleep is a little disturbed, but I'm getting my rest, mostly. Having some bad dreams. Check out all of my thoughts on this 31 days of horror. We've got 21 days up and posted on my website, theladiesrevenge.com. Follow me on Twitter at The Ladies Revenge. Also, stay tuned for the next couple days. I'll be posting my own short film, a little horror, fun Halloween thing that should hopefully be up by the end of the week. If you want to check out Matthew Bowers, he's doing this along with me. He's posting over at veryaware.com. And you can find him on Twitter at mrbowers. Are any of you guys doing this 31 Days of Horror thing? What have you guys been watching? How have the scary movies affected you? You know, are you finding yourself disturbed, or are you, like Matthew, dead inside? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you back here soon.